Good morning. When you arrive, when you guys get here, you can grab your props and start on your back. I wonder why it says unable to join here. Doing a little troubleshooting before class begins. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Hey, Carrie.
Good morning. Hey, Lydia. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I love your jumpsuit. Your unicorn.
It's so comfortable. So, for our folks on Facebook, good morning. If you'd like to see intensifications of a variety of poses, I invite you to join us on Instagram, where our lovely teacher Lydia will be demonstrating some of those for you. So go over to Instagram if you're here. But if Facebook is a better display for you, welcome. We have just a couple minutes until class starts. So grab your blocks if you have one. If you don't, that's okay. Grab a big book or a pillow. You can also grab a blanket to support your knees or shoulders or neck in any poses, and prepare yourself for practice. Hey, Lydia.
Yeah.
What's a pose, or not a pose, but something that students always tell you that they want to work on?
That they want to work on. People always say shoulders.
Shoulders.
People say hips often.
Shoulders and hips. Well, that's good. We did shoulders sometime last week, and we've been doing hips all this week, and we're going to continue the hips and do hips today as well.
Oh, good.
Yes. And hips are a great way to release. So today, as we practice, think about what you can let go of in this spring cleaning that we're doing with our bodies through this practice. So we'll go ahead and begin lying down on our backs. Good morning, folks who are just joining us. We're starting lying down on our backs. If this is your first time joining us, go ahead and type your name in and let me know how you're doing this morning. If you have any injuries, or if there are any areas of your body you'd like to particularly stretch out today. Starting lying on the back, begin to take note of how you're breathing. Maybe you place your hands on the belly, or maybe right at the high thigh, on that area that we talked about yesterday, which is the psoas. And just let your hands gently rest there. Go ahead and close your eyes. When we close our eyes, that not only triggers relaxation, but it begins to trigger self-awareness. As you begin to move your attention towards the internal. By watching your breath. As it moves into your body. And as it slowly moves out of your body. For this next hour, just working to release everything external affecting us right now. Just giving yourself permission this hour to notice everything that's going on inside of you. By following your breath. Observing your breath. As you breathe in, filling up the body completely. And as you breathe out, releasing your body. Breathe in, filling up lungs, rib cage, chest. Breathe out as you soften the chest, rib cage, belly. Big breath in, fill up the low belly right above the psoas. Fill up the ribs and the chest. And exhale as you release the chest, ribs, and belly. Breathe into the belly. And breathe out. And Sophie, thank you for your message. They said that there's a feedback coming back, so I'm going to turn down the volume on my phone. And Lydia, if the feedback continues, we may need you to turn it down on your phone. And if you're on Facebook, continue to breathe on your back. Good. Let us know if that's okay now on Insta and give us a couple thumbs up. And if it's not, let us know. And from here on your back, go ahead and take the sole of your right foot and place it on the inside of your left thigh. We're going to do something that Lydia just taught me, which is this grounded tree pose. So go ahead and allow your foot to rest on the inner thigh, and your hands can stay right there on your psoas, or you may take the hands to your heart, or you can lift the arms up as if you're in standing tree pose. Wherever you are, just taking a moment here, noticing these subtle movements created by your breath. As you inhale, feel the belly and the chest rise with your breath. And as you exhale, feel everything start to release into your mat with your breath. And go ahead, hug that right knee in towards your chest. Extend your left leg long, stretching the left leg all the way out, even flexing the foot to get that early extension through the hamstring. And then go ahead and bring that right knee over to the left side of your body. Allow your right arm to splay all the way out. Good, and then let your chin fall over to your right shoulder. And let's start to wake up the morning back. Breathing in through your nose. And slowly breathing out through your nose. You want to breathe in until your belly expands with your breath. And breathe out as everything releases. And go ahead, hug both knees in towards your chest and start to extend your right leg long this time. And then take the right sole or the left sole of your foot and place it on the inside of your right thigh for this grounded tree pose. And the hands may rest right here on your psoas, this muscle behind the pelvis that goes from the inside of the pelvis and wraps all the way around to your low back. Slowly start to stretch that space. Breath by breath. Keeping the right leg engaged by flexing the foot. On your next inhale, big breath in, expanding belly. Draw the left knee in towards your chest and catch it with your knee. Then go ahead and start to bring that left leg all the way over to your right side and allow your left arm to splay out. Now if that left shoulder wants to hike up off of the yoga mat, go ahead and let it rest back down, maybe giving on the knee a bit, not taking the twist as deep so the shoulders are relaxed down. Take another deep breath into the belly, separating each one of your ribs with your breath, and then slowly come back through center. Bring both knees in towards your chest, and then start to rock from side to side, all the way up to a comfortable seated position. Take your time to make it to your seat, and go ahead and cross your legs, sit up nice and tall, and erect your spine here. For a moment, let's bring our hands to our heart center, allowing the eyes to relax close. Gently tucking the chin towards the chest. Deep breath into the lungs, the ribs, the chest. Exhale, release the chest, ribs, lungs. Breathe in and breathe out. Take a few more breaths in this seated position, Sukhasana. Again, being that observer of your breath. Every time we exhale, think about not only releasing your breath, but releasing. Cleaning out that junk drawer in our bodies, which often they call our hips. We're going to work to open up that space in our bodies, breath by breath today. On your next inhale, take a deep breath in, fill your lungs up, start to lift your arms, maybe open the eyes up, or you can keep those eyes closed throughout class. As you exhale, start to fold forward, hinging from your hips in that seated forward fold. Anchor through your sitting bones and start to walk your fingertips out. Lift your chin out by your fingers to get that extension through the low back. And as you exhale, begin to fold in a bit. Not working to get your head towards the floor, but working to feel a gentle stretch in the hips and in the low back. Maybe your head even rests on a couple of blocks or books or pillows this morning to release any strain around the neck and shoulders. On your next inhale, fill your belly up and start to lift your arms all the way back up towards the ceiling. Reach up and look up. And as you exhale, plant the hands. Come onto your hands and knees. But if you have any knee issues, I encourage you to stay right here in a seated position with me. If you're on hands and knees and the knees are a little tender, grab a blanket and place it out on your mat. Take the knees far apart today. Bring your big toes together and have a seat back on your heels. This is child's pose. So you can stay in that seated or you can join here. And if you come to child's pose and the hips aren't all that open, they're still feeling really tight, you can always place a block underneath your head. Coming into this restorative and gentle hip opener whenever you need to come back to your intention, to focus on your breathing. restart this spring cleaning, beginning with your hips. See if you can take 5 more balanced breaths in your child's pose or in your easy pose, this comfortable seat. Breath in, full breath out through the nose. Taking more expansive breaths and more complete exhale, so you start to add this audible quality to your 3-part breath. Coming back to child's pose or your seated pose in any moment where you no longer feel or hear your breath. And on your next inhalation, if you're on the hands and knees in child's pose, take a deep breath in and go ahead and rise up to your hands and knees in table. If you're in that chair, take a deep breath in, or that seat, fill your lungs up, lift your face up, drop the ribcage forward and down. As you exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin to your chest as you press the floor away from you if you're on the hands and knees. Deep breath in, fill your lungs, lift your heart. In your cow pose, drawing the shoulder blades together. And exhale as you round your back into your cat pose. So whether you're taking this seated cat and cow with me, or you're on the hands and knees with Lydia, begin to link your breath and movement. Just like when we were on our backs in that grounded tree. As you inhale, feel the frontal plane of your body fill with your breath. And as you exhale, feel this release of your breath in your head. And then go ahead, make your way to this stable table. We'll all meet on the hands and knees or either in that downward facing dog. For down dog, start to fold the toes under and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. You may always stay down on your hands and knees. From downward dog or the hands and knees, see that the little smile of your elbow, that crease is facing forward, creating some length around your shoulders and your neck area. And then for this first down dog or stable table, start to just move your hips gently from side to side, pedaling the feet. So if you're in downward dog, bending one leg while the other leg straightens. If you're on the hands and knees, just bringing some movement to the lower body. And then go ahead, spread those fingertips far apart. Fill your lungs up, maybe lift the knees up now or the heels, and begin to bring your feet forward to meet your hands. Take your time to get there. I'm going to move towards the back so you can see me on the mat. Take a deep breath in, lift up halfway with a flat spine. As you exhale, fold forward, hinging from your hips. We're going to try that a couple times together. Inhale, lift halfway. Roll your shoulder heads back. Exhale as you contract low belly and fold in. Maybe a slight bend in the knees. Inhale, lift halfway up. Elongating your back. And exhale, fold back in. Try that 3 times at the pace of your breath. Every time you inhale, fill your belly up to lift your body. And as you exhale, contract your back belly and release the body. Good. After that last one, ground through the 4 corners of your feet. Take a deep breath in and reach all the way up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in, rooting through the feet to rise. And then go ahead and bring your palms together to your heart as you step the feet together and close the eyes just for a moment here. Good, drawing the tailbone down, engaging the muscles in your feet and your toes as you grow roots in your mat and lengthen through the crown of your head. So even in this pose, we're completely aware of what's going on inside. By following our breath. As you inhale, feel your heart rise. And as you exhale, feel it release. Take another deep breath in here, filling up belly, rib cage, and chest. And as you exhale, release the hands down to your sides. Take a deep breath in, circle the arms up, fill your lungs up. And as you exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips, maybe putting some space between those legs, creating some space for the belly. Inhale, lift halfway up with your nice flat back. And as you exhale, plant the hands, come on down to your hands and knees. Now, if you ate breakfast, feeling nice and energetic, or your breath is steady here, make your way to a plank pose. That's at the top of a push-up. So maybe you lift the knees, press back through the heels, allow your triceps and biceps to get involved in your practice. Put a little bend in the elbow. Take another deep breath in here. And whether your knees are lifted or lowered, start to slowly lower down with control. Feel your navel reaching towards your spine as you lower. Good. Press your toenails down. Start to lift the chest up and breathe. Good. Draw your shoulder blades together here and work to not contract or clench the glutes. Exhale, come back down. Let's try that one more time. Take a deep breath in. Feel your lungs, your ribs, and your chest expand as you lift gently. You can also come onto the elbows here, making the Sphinx pose. Exhale, come back down. We'll take that one more time. I'll show you one more variation. As you inhale, fill up belly, start to lift. And maybe you lift the thighs up, coming into upward facing dog. So yogi's choice here. Start to fold the toes under and lift back into your downward dog or table pose. And breathe evenly through your nose. And go ahead, lift your right leg up and back behind you. So whether you're in your down dog or your table, flex the right foot. And then go ahead and slowly start to bring the knee in towards your chest and plant the right foot between your hands. Good. Lower that left knee down and inch the left knee back. Start to stretch your inner thigh. That psoas muscle, let's start to get into it. Good. See that right knee is at a 90-degree angle. And start to engage the inner thigh so it's not fanning out, but you're bringing it more towards the midline. Bring your hands to your hips. Maybe you take your hands to the top of the knee. Maybe you lift your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Wherever you are, breathe through your nose. Breathe into that stretch. Good. Take one more deep inhale here through your nose. And on your next exhale, draw your right arm back behind you. Take that left hand to your right knee and twist. Maybe the left hand reaches forward. Then go ahead and wrap your right arm behind your back, like you want to stick your hand in your left pocket. Then start to reach your left arm up and over. So you start to balance your grace and strength here. Look over the right shoulder as you lunge in your right knee. As you exhale, surround your right foot with both hands and step your right knee back to meet your left, or make your way right to downward dog. And breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Oh, I see a lot of my friends here this morning. Good morning, Jessica and Kendra and Ann and Jody. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. And if you're just getting here, I encourage you to do a sun salutation or warm up a bit before getting into your hips. Go ahead, bring that left knee forward and plant the left hand between your hands. Inch that right knee back so you start to, again, feel that stretch. You want to work to release the psoas in today's practice. And then go ahead, bring the hands to the hips. You may stay right here. You may do as Lydia's doing and lift the arms. You could take your hands to a block. We're really just here to give you some suggestions. These asanas help us become aware of how we're breathing and reacting and being. Go ahead and draw that left arm back behind you. Maybe the right hand comes to the left knee, or maybe the right hand extends out. As you exhale, twisting from your navel, continuing to lunge in the left knee. Go ahead and wrap your left arm behind your back. Take a big inhale and lift the right arm up and over. Gently peeking over that left shoulder as you lunge into your left knee. Feeling it in your upper left thigh. Exhale, surround your left foot and come on down to your hands and knees. Go right to your downward dog and pedal the feet in your downward dog, or move a little bit from side to side on your hands and knees. Bring some blood flow back into your hip flexors. Deep breath in. Complete breath out through the nose. Breathe in. Maybe open the mouth this time. Just let it go. Go ahead on your next inhale and lift your knees or your heels and begin to bring the feet towards the hands. Lift up halfway with your flat back, stretching out hamstrings and spine, and then start to bend your knees. Now, shift the weight back to your heels and sweep your fingertips over your head and your heart. Now you want to see that your feet are underneath your hips. Maybe you stand up straight for a moment just to take note of where that is. Some studios like to tell you to put some fists between the inner arches of your feet. Others say just gauge it and measure it. Wherever you are, see that you feel comfortable and that your thighs become parallel with your yoga mat. Scoop the low belly in and up, and then start to dip into that chair. There you go, Lydia. Deep breath in here through the nose. Shifting your weight back towards your heels so the toes are so light they can just kind of wave in the air, strengthening the joints. Exhale, fold forward, release. Take a breath in, expand your belly, lift halfway up. Come on down to your hands and knees or the top of your plank, yogi's choice. Take a full inhalation here in your table or plank, and as you exhale, lower with control. Let the elbows shave the sides of your body. Press your toes down. Inhale, lift your heart up. And exhale to your downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. Maybe even hang out with me right here on your hands and knees. And breathe. Good. Start to inhale, lift that right leg all the way up and back. Exhale, slowly contracting belly. Bring the right foot between your palms. Good. Lower that left knee down. Good. Now stay here for a breath. Maybe you keep the knee down. Maybe you fold the toes under and start to lift that left knee just an inch. Right? Just letting it hover over the mat. Wherever you are, knee down or lift it. Take a deep breath in and begin to lift your torso. And again, you can always leave that left knee down and hang out right here. Wherever you are, big breath in, fill up the frontal plane of your body, let it rise towards the ceiling, lifting eyes and heart. And as you exhale, start to draw that right arm back behind you. Twist open. Keep lunging in that right knee. These hip flexors, this group of muscles, connect our femur and our pelvis. So you want to make sure you stretch that out. Wrap your right arm behind your back and then bring that left arm up and over, looking down over your right shoulder. Good. Exhale, surround your right foot and lower down with control. Maybe you lower down and take that cobra, or you move right to your downward dog or table. The goal here is to breathe, open the hips, clean the body with this balanced breath. Fill your lungs up and lift that left leg up and back. Good, then start to contract the belly, bringing knee into chest, and plant your left foot all the way up between your hands. Create that space in the inner thighs. Fold the right toes under. Maybe you leave the right knee down. Maybe you let it float off of your yoga mat. Wherever you are, fill up and start to lift the belly, the sternum, maybe the arms, all the way up towards the ceiling. Letting that right hip flexor draw down towards the earth as that left hip crease reaches towards the wall behind you. Wherever you are, take another deep breath in through your nose, filling up and expanding. And as you exhale, take your twist, open up. Look past your left fingertips as you lunge into that left knee. Then go ahead and wrap your left arm behind your back. Fill up and raise your right arm up and over. And if you fall, good. Means you're trying. Every breath is another chance to start again. Good. Go ahead, surround that left foot. And step it back to your hands and knees or right to your down dog. Or maybe child's pose. Take whatever you need for the next few breaths. You might even need to move your mat like Lydia. Thanks, Lydia. She's probably making sure you guys can see everything very well, which I appreciate. Take one more deep breath in and out here. And then go ahead, rise off of your knees or your heels and bring your feet up to meet your hands. Go ahead, bend your knees here. Sweep the fingertips above your head and your heart. In our second round of Utkatasana, chair pose. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold over straight, soft knees. We'll do one little squat this morning. Lift up halfway, flatten your back. Now take your feet out to the corners of your yoga mat. Bring your hands to your heart and bend your knees. In a little squat here. You can be right here like I am, or you can drop it low like Lydia. Wherever you are, see that the heart is lifting. And you're breathing into any tight spaces you feel in those hip flexors. Tuck your tailbone, take another deep breath in, lift the heart. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, and make your way down to your hands and knees or to that plank pose. Wherever you are, take a deep breath in and exhale as you slowly release your body down with control. Fill your lungs up and use that breath to lift your body, making it light and buoyant here. And then go ahead, exhale to your table or your downward dog. We're going to try that flow once more together. Hello. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Our friends, Textures by Nefertiti just joined. Go check her out for natural hair needs. Step the right foot up. That was not a sponsored ad. I just love them. Good. Inhale, rise up to your kneeling crescent or your full crescent. Good. Exhale, twist open to your right. Open up towards that lunging knee. Beautiful, everyone. I feel like I can see you. At least you, Lydia. You're doing a great job. Lift the left arm up and over. Go ahead and reverse that crescent. Beautiful. Go ahead, bring both hands around your right foot. Come to your table or to your downward dog. And if you know where to go on the other side, tune me out, tune into your breath, and try your left side. Otherwise, lift that left leg up and back. Step the left foot up between your hands. Good. Inch the right knee back. Fill up. Lift the arms up and the eyes. Exhale. Take that twist as you open up. And again, your knee can be up if you need a little more this morning. Good. And then inhale, reversing. Reaching the right arm back as you lunge into your left knee. And exhale, surround your left foot. Bring the left knee back to meet the right or left foot. And you can take that low push-up in heart-opening cobra or move right back to your table or down dog and breathe. I don't know about you guys, but I've started to build a little heat. Lydia's like, me too. If you have, Let's work to cool the body down a bit with our breath. Take a huge sip of breath through the nose. Breathe in, open the mouth, let it out. One more deep breath in, cooling the inner rings of your nostrils, and let it go. Good. Go ahead, rise up off the knees or heels and bring your feet up to meet your hands. As you inhale, fill the lungs up, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold back in, bring your heart towards your thighs, look at the knees. Inhale, stand all the way up. Circle your arms up towards the sky, and then bring your palms down at your heart center. And breathe. Stand here in mountain pose and work to balance your breath. Good. Deep breath in and out. We're going to work to open our hips a little bit standing. On your next inhalation, before we even go there, grab a block, okay, if you need one, or notice that you've had any challenges balancing, which all of us do it sometimes, but on that next inhale, fill the lungs up and begin to lift your right knee up. If this is a challenge for you, no worries. Let your foot rest on that block. Otherwise, catch your knee with your hands and breathe. If you need a little more this morning, you can get your peace fingers out. Catch your big toe with your peace fingers and bring your left hand to your hip. Keep drawing that right hip down, and on your next inhale, lift the right leg out. And you may still be right here. You may be right here. As long as your breath is balanced, you're doing this practice perfectly. You're doing the cleansing, the releasing. On that next inhale, whether your leg is here or here, start to draw the right leg out to the right. Ooh, you start to feel the hip flexors opening here, don't you? And again, that foot can always rest on a block. You just have to move your block a little. You still get that opening. Or you can extend the leg out fully as Lydia is on Instagram. Wherever you are, take another deep breath in here, opening. And then inhale, come back through center. Hug the knee in or let that leg reach out. For one more big breath in, lift the right foot up. Exhale, lower it down. Even though we're doing Hatha, we're getting a little Ashtanga yoga in this morning with these. Grow roots through your right foot. Stand up nice and tall. Work to balance your breath again. Letting those inhales and exhales become even. Adjust your block if needed. And on your next inhale, let that left knee float up towards the ceiling. Maybe that left foot rest. And even here, this is a very active pose. You're engaging the quad to straighten up that right leg without locking the knee out. You can also go ahead and lift that knee and catch it with your hands. You may also take another variation, getting the peace fingers out, bringing the hands to your hips, and extending that left leg out. Wherever you are, breathe. And then start to take that left leg out to the left. And again, wherever you are, whichever variation you have, let your breath be your focus. Releasing and cleaning the body with your breath. Good, inhale, come back through center. Take that last extension, reaching the leg out or lifting the knee up. Breathe in. Exhale, let it go. And fold forward. Beautiful work, everyone. Fill your lungs and lift just halfway up with your flat spine. And then go ahead, plant your hands, come on to the hands and knees. Take your time to get there. And now we get deeper into our hips. From here, go ahead and take your right knee and start to bring it up towards your right wrist. Bring that right shin so it's parallel with the short edge of your mat. And then begin to extend your left leg back. Work to bring that left leg towards the center of your mat so that left hip flexor is reaching down towards your mat. Bring the fingertips by your hips to ground. And as you inhale, lift the torso up. Good. Really feeling that stretch in the hip, in the psoas. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you grab a block or a blanket and place it right in front of you. Start to come forward. Maybe you rest on the elbows, or you lower your forehead down to the mat like Lydia. Wherever you are, breathe deeply and evenly through your nose. You may also come onto your backs in another variation of this pose if you have anything going on with your knee. And if that's the case, go ahead and roll onto your backs. Take your right ankle and place it over your left knee. Weave your right arm between the legs and take both hands underneath that left leg. And that's our reclined version of Pigeon Pose. So take whichever version allows you to keep that attention from the external to the internal. Taking this moment to stretch out the hips. So if you're a regular yoga practitioner, all your forward folds and back bends improve with open hips. Typically when we have tight hips, it creates this load on our lower back. But with these hip openers and increased flexibility, it reduces the load on the low back and the spine. See if you can find 5 more breaths in your variation of Pigeon Pose. And for all of those people like Fit to Fit who just joined, or Sabrina, I encourage you to do a few warm-up poses before you start to move into these hips. Then slowly, after that 5th exhale, take a deep breath in, fill your body up, and start to lift it up. Good. And if you're on your back, come onto your hands and knees. Lift that right leg up and back, or go into a 3-leg downward dog with the right leg up in the sky. Bring some blood back into that right hip flexor. And you can move into pigeon on the left side from downward dog or your table pose by working to bring that left knee up towards your left wrist. If you're on your back, go ahead and make your way to your backs. Good. From your hands and knees, bring the fingertips by your hips. Good. Fill up, lift your sternum up towards the sky. And as you exhale, begin to come forward. And if you're on your back, take that same position as last time, letting the left knee kind of fan out as the ankle relaxes on your right knee. Weave the left arm through the legs and take the hands right underneath your right leg or your right knee. Breathing into any areas where you feel tight. Noticing the inflow and outflow of your breath. They call these hips, as we mentioned the other day, the junk drawer of our body, because we hold so much emotional pain in our bodies. We can hold trauma in our bodies. But with these hip openers, it's an energetic and emotional release you start to feel as you work to breathe through sensations, even the uncomfortable ones. Whether you're on or off your yoga mat, discomfort is going to arise. And in poses like this, when we're training our brains to observe how we feel without reacting to it. See if you can find 3 more breaths here. Observing the inflow and the outflow of your breath. Doing that internal spring cleaning, breath by breath. And on your next inhale, slowly come up off of your back or onto your hands and knees. Take your time to get there, no rush. Take it easy. Take a deep breath in here and out, maybe in your downward dog or your table, moving the hips from side to side, walking it out, maybe lifting a leg as Lydia is doing. Good morning, Marcy. Breathe through your nose. Good. One more hip opener for us today, one that we've been working on a lot this week, is lizard pose. Go ahead and lift your right leg up and back behind you. And then take that right foot outside of your right hand. Take a big step here. Good. Bring it forward and then inch that left knee back. Again, creating that length in your inner thighs, starting to stretch it out. Walk the hands a palm print forward. Take your breath in, lift the sternum out. Feel a deep stretch here, and it feels good. Go ahead and stay here. If you want to go deeper, maybe you grab a block or 2 and place those blocks underneath your elbows. You may also come all the way down to the elbows, as Lydia is doing on Instagram. Wherever you are in this variation of a pose, work to follow your breath. Breathing in and slowly breathing out. This is a very good pose for runners and weightlifters who are always overusing the muscles. This is a nice one to get into that area. Notice what you're noticing as the sensations start to arise. And without any judgment, gently draw your attention back in. And watch your breath flow into those tight areas and slowly stretch the hips open. On your next inhale, begin to come up to your hands if you're not already there. And take your right leg back to meet your left. Take your time. Move the hips from side to side, or maybe walk it out in your downward dog, or take a few big circles. Do what intuitively feels nice for your body this morning. Nice. Then go ahead, lift that left leg all the way up and back behind you. And start to bring the left knee forward and place the left foot between or outside of that left hand rather. Good. Inch your right knee back a bit. Bring the palms a handprint forward. Take an inhale and stretch your heart forward, broadening your collarbone with your breath. And as you exhale, maybe you just gently bend the elbows and come forward, or you can lower the elbows down to your blocks, or you can lower all the way down to your yoga mat. Let your breath decide which variation of the pose you take. That breath is moving quickly. That's the body responding. So slow it down and maybe come up to the hands. If your breath is steady and even, maybe you go ahead and lower those elbows down and allow yourself to surrender into this hip opening pose. Releasing any stuck emotions. Breath by breath. Breathing into the low belly, the rib cage and chest. And then softening the chest, ribs, and belly. Deep breath in, send it to any space you feel tightness. Exhale as you release and cleanse that space. Find 5 more deep breaths here in humble warrior. And right in that moment when you want to react and run away, bring your attention back in and breathe. One more full breath in. Let it go. And gently rise up to your hands if you're not already there. And make your way to your hands and knees or to your downward facing dog. Jess, thanks for your message. Love you too. Go ahead, walk it out. Breathing in through your nose. And out through the nose. On your next exhale, gently release the knees down. Cross the ankles or make your way to a seated position in the best way available for you. No rush to get there. And then bring the soles of your feet together for our final hip opener here today. Sometimes you gotta do that. You gotta fix the yoga fit. And Lydia is positioning it so you can get another view of her feet. Butterfly pose is a really nice one for your hips and can be a passive pose. Go ahead and grab your thumbs, place it into the bunion part of your feet. Take a deep breath in, lift the heart, stack the spine over the pelvis, sitting upright. As you exhale, start to fold in. Flat back, start to bring the chin out towards the toes. And as you exhale, start to fold in here in butterfly pose. This is a great hip opener that soothes, I don't know if that's a word, maybe I'm still waking up. Soothe, how do you say soothe with an S? Soothe with an S, Lydia, how do you say that? Soothes. It's such a hard word to say, gosh. Anyway, it helps sciatica, this pose. Use your breath to let it soothe any parts of your body that still feel tight and intense. This also is a beautiful pose for reducing your menstrual pain. So for whatever reason that you find yourself in this pose, good morning. Let yourself surrender here. Breathing in as you inflate your back with your breath. And breathing out as you release and continue to clean out that junk jar in your hips. Just letting go of all the stuff you don't need. Breath by breath. And then slowly start to rise on your next inhale. Straighten those legs out and start to make your way down to your back. You can catch right underneath your knees to lend you a little support as you lower. And then hug the knees in towards your chest once you make it down to your back. And rock a little bit from side to side. Give yourself a little massage. And then we'll try my baby niece's favorite pose. This is actually our last hip opener. Take both of your hands right underneath your knees, or you can take both of your hands to the outer edges of your feet. Yogi's choice. So you can be here or here. Wherever you are, allow those feet to plant on the ceiling and rock from side to side. It feels so good. I could just do this all day. And you can too. When you watch this later on Facebook, you can pause the video and just kind of hang out in this hip opener, happy baby. Take a few more breaths here. Rocking from side to side like a happy baby. And then slowly lower the soles of your feet down to the yoga mat. And windshield wiper your legs from right to left. Bring the soles of your feet together and let the knees open wide apart. You can allow both of the hands to rest on the psoas again, or you can reach the arms over your head or let them rest by your side. If you're on Instagram, this will be your final pose, your resting pose. As the video has only 1 more minute to go, hang out in that resting pose as long as you want. Letting your hips and your heart be open. Releasing and cleansing body and mind. Let's all close our practice with the retained breath today. Take a deep breath in, fill up both of your lungs as much as you can with your breath. Fill up your rib cage, fill up your chest. Hold the breath at the top. Open your mouth and let it go. You may stay here or release into Shavasana. If you're on Instagram, we'll see you on Friday. If you're on Facebook, continue to lie down and scan the body. And slowly start to bring some movement to your toes in your Shavasana or your cobbler's pose. Maybe add some movement to your fingertips and rotate your wrists. Let your chin pass from one shoulder to the other. And then take a deep breath in, reach your arms over your head, filling your lungs up, your whole body with your breath. Breathe in. Exhale, let it go. And then rise up to a seated position if you're not already there. Bring your palms together and let your thumbs rest on your heart. Let's take these last few moments to be that observer of our breath. And we'll take one more collective cleansing and releasing breath through the nose. Breathe in. Open up and let it go. The light and love in me bows to that same light and love in all of you. Namaste. Thank you everyone who practiced with Lydia and I today. Lydia is a wonderful Yoganic Flow teacher. She teaches many of our outdoor classes at Palmer Park. You may see her subbing a class online, but definitely give her a follow and come take some of our classes at Yoganic Flow. And thank you, Lydia, for your time. I know you're so busy. Guys, she's a law student. She's a super brainiac yogi. But so I'm really grateful for that. And namaste. Follow us on Instagram for more online yoga classes at Yoganic Flow. Oh, and the good news here today. Today was supposed to be the last day of these Sidewalk Detroit classes, like regular yoga classes, and they extended it because all of you are showing up online on Facebook and Instagram. So again, thank you for being here. We have class on Friday, and starting next week, the classes will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So see you Friday and have a good one. Bye, Lydia. Bye, Facebook friends.